Hello, and welcome to the Astrolabe tutorial series. In this video, I will show you how to set up a new experiment. But first, just a quick note. We are constantly developing new features, so the current interface may be slightly different from what you see here. When I log into Astrolabe, I am welcomed by the Experiments page. This shows a list of all the experiments I have created, as well as those I have permission to. To create a new experiment, I will click on the New Experiment button. Here I can name my experiment. Let's go with Astrolabe Demo. I can also indicate whether my samples should be analyzed using a particular organism hierarchy. In my experiment, samples were collected from human patients, so I will select Human. If I would rather not use an organism hierarchy, I can select Profiling only, though we recommend you use the appropriate organism if you can. Now I'm ready to upload samples. To import FCS files into Astrolabe, I can either click on this button to select files, or I can drag and drop files. I will select the files I need. Now my files are queued to be uploaded into Astrolabe. This can take several minutes, so I'm fast forwarding through that. Once the upload is complete, a Define Features button will appear. I will click on that to proceed. Astrolabe will now pre-process my files, which usually takes a few minutes. I can see progress here. Again, I will fast forward a couple of minutes. After pre-processing, I enter the Experiment Setup screen. This screen has 3 tabs: Features, Channels, and Users. We will start with Features. The features I define here will later be used for statistical analysis, so I should be sure to define any feature I would like to see fold change or other statistical measurements for. To start, I will click on the Add Feature button. First, I am going to add a patient ID. I need to provide a list of my 43 patient identifiers here, which I have already copied to my clipboard. Once I'm done, I will click Save, and the feature will be added to the experiment. You can see the platform has populated the feature values by matching them to the FCS file name. I will now add an infection stage feature, which identifies whether the sample was taken while the patient's infection was acute or convalescent. I could have made life easier for myself by using the same abbreviations in the file name, but I wanted to demonstrate that in the case where the feature value, in this case convalescent, cannot be found in the file name, I can populate it manually. Next, let's click on the Channels tab, where I can decide which channels should be included in analysis. You will see that Astrolabe has automatically excluded some channels for processing, perhaps because they contain beads, barcoding, or no information. We highly recommend you review these exclusions to ensure they make sense for your data. In this case, I can see that Astrolabe has included some DNA channels that I'm not interested in, so I'm going to check them to ignore. Next, let's have a look at the User tab. This is where I can grant permission to my experiment to other users. The users I add here will not be able to change my experiment configuration, but they will be able to view the experiment analysis and results when they become available. I'm going to select my colleague Clark and click Give Access. Now when Clark logs into Astrolabe, he will be able to view this experiment. I'm happy with my configuration now, so I'm going to go back to Features and click the Continue button, and then OK. This confirms that I have finished defining my features and channels. The platform is now starting cell subset identification and other processing, which will take about 1 to 3 hours. Please join me in other tutorials where I will discuss the powerful analysis tools within Astrolabe. If you have any questions, you can always contact us at support@astrolabediagnostics.com. Thank you.